Welcome to Skate Date.
Woo, welcome.
It's Skate Date, your favorite podcast, where two roller skaters who fell in love made a podcast about the real world and the wheel world.
I was like, I am not participating in that. The podcast is a podcast that is not only about roller skating, even though we are roller skaters. It also is about our opinions on many things. We give some great and not so great advice. We help you find love, whether it's platonic or romantic. What else do we do?
We just like have an overall good time.
Sort of.
Very much so. My name is Rebel.
My name's Shove.
And together we are Shovel.
Can you dig it?
I can.
What are we talking about?
Today we are going to talk about masks, and then we're also... Masks, plural. And then we are going to talk about, like, skating, and then we're going to do all the rest of the stuff we normally do.
Nice.
You.
My knee hurts and I had to rub CBD on it today.
My arm is fully bruised and hurts very badly because I was trying to... You can't even see it. That's the worst part. The worst part is that this bruise is, like, very bad. Like, it looks like I tried to contour my forearm. But you can't see it because in pictures, for some reason, like, the light doesn't hit it right. It just looks like a shadow.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the Will World, and you'll hear about how that happened.
Yeah.
Today I had a COVID test, which is crazy. Didn't think I'd have to do those anymore since I'm vaccinated.
Right? That's so wild. You would think that you would just be able to provide your, like, vaccination record.
Right? Also, I'm gaining some sweet muscles because I'm, like, loading skates every day.
You are getting hella strong.
I'm so strong.
I'm very, very proud of you. You're so strong. I'm going to the gym occasionally. I have gone once each week for the last 2 weeks.
That's great, babe. I'm proud of you.
I think that's actually really good. So if anyone is out there hating in the club, get out of here.
Hey, you're moving, and that's all
I'm moving, and I wasn't moving previously to this last 2 weeks. So that is a good step in the correct direction.
See, Apple Watches, they're worth it. They'll tell you how much you move or don't move.
Additionally, YouTube trolls, totally worth it. Tell you you're too fat to be drinking a lavender lemonade.
It's okay to be fat. It's not okay to choose to be unhealthy.
But it is okay to drink lavender lemonade.
Treat yourself.
Okay, well, let's jump right into our ad, why don't we? Hey, babe, guess what? We have a birthday this week.
Really? Wait, did I forget your birthday?
No way. You know I wouldn't let you forget that.
That's for sure. So, whose birthday is it?
I'll give you a hint. They're turning 5, and they make roller skate and roller derby themed merch.
Oh my god, how could I forget? It's roller shirts.
Should we sing? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to...
Babe, no. But we can say woohoo for roller shirts.
Yay, roller shirts.
And for roller shirts' 5th anniversary, they are having 2 sales.
2? Holy crap, I'm about to get all the shirts. What's the sale?
Well, from now until May 23rd, this Sunday, you can get $10 off $40 or more by using code
ANNIV10. Or $30 off your $100 purchase by using code ANNIV30. That's ANNIV, either 10 or 30.
Go now to www.rollershirts.com to get some super cute skate apparel and accessories.
Rolling through life at rollershirts.com. Yay! Roller Shirts 5-year anniversary. Go check them out. Okay, should we go on to the real world?
The real world is scary. I don't want to.
Let's do it. where we talk about the real things.
Ew, what is happening right now?
I was doing a voice.
A voice?
Yeah.
That was a choice and a voice. Today we're talking about mask.
Who?
Mask.
The Mask?
Not the
Here?
Mask.
Oh, God, I just got scared for a second.
Oh my gosh. So, today I was working and I got the little alert, as most of us did, and it was like, oh, on June 15th or 16th? 15th, right?
15th.
Yeah, June 15th, we already knew that California was going to get rid of most, if not all, I think most,
restrictions
of the restrictions that they have for the COVID restrictions. And they announced that not only that, but we will be joining the federal laws of like no mask at all.
Which is wild. Because they just announced like last week. Was it even last week? Was it even a week ago?
It was like a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago, I think.
It was so recently that they announced that like if you're fully vaccinated that you basically don't have to wear your mask unless it's like at a few choice places. Which is wild. But then like, I don't know, it still felt kind of normal because it was like we had to follow the rules of all the stores that were like, wear masks.
But then they also said like you could go to a freaking stadium to watch like a sports arena, like watch a game without a mask and be okay.
Yeah, they were like, big gatherings, you're good. And it's such a weird, like, what's that called when it's cognitive dissonance, when you like believe one thing for so long and then all of a sudden you're presented with new information and your brain is just like, ah!
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
I don't know.
It only takes a year and then you're like, my whole world is rewired and now my norm is different and now everything feels wrong that's supposed to be normal. So I got that alert and I was like, oh my God. I was like, everyone, do you see this? And I was like, this is crazy. And then I was like looking at all the masks we have and I was like, we should have a sale on the mask or else we're going to be sitting on a lot of masks. Like I was making a joke how we could take the Moxie mask and like make bikini tops out of them.
Or like banana hammocks.
Yeah, exactly. Or like slingshots. What do we do with them? We're like, I don't know. We gotta get creative.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you do with them? I mean, like, I'm still gonna wear a mask whenever I'm sick. Like, that's totally gonna be a thing that I do. Because I have enough cute ones. Why not?
Yeah. But then also, there's a lot of things going on with like nurses protesting and being like, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense. Like, then the right-wing party is like, oh, they're up to something. They're trying to distract us. That's why they're saying no masks. They're trying to make us happy while they do other things so that way we don't notice.
Why is everything so freaking political? Yo, could it just be like we're trying to end a, like, global pandemic? Like, we're trying to get out of it? But then I also, like, I get all the people who are like, hey, it's too soon. Like, I do get that. But then I also am like, I'm not a doctor, so I'm just going to listen to Mr. Fauci, my man.
Also, other parts of the world are like India are doing
yeah, they're still doing so horribly. So it's like, oh, we're just going to... I mean, I guess that's what like Australia and New Zealand did a bit back. But then remember, Australia and New Zealand like went back on lockdown.
Yeah. Like we could go back too. It's just crazy.
It's
like,
so crazy.
Like I was definitely really selfish when I like heard about it because I was like, oh, hell yeah, that means for sure I can have my rollout in July. And I was like, I don't have to worry about people wearing masks or not, and all this stuff. And this is what's crazy, is to know that I'm just like, okay, this is what's going on now. And then like being like traumatized about going in public and like seeing someone with not wearing a mask.
Yeah, I'm definitely traumatized. Like, every time I think about going, like, in a place that's close quarters without a mask, I low-key, like, panic a little bit. But, you know, I don't know. It's weird.
Because just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean we're, like, 100%.
Yeah, it's definitely not 100% protected. And, like, new variants we're probably not protected from. Even though a new study shows that, like, the Pfizer and the Moderna, they're both good against a lot of the new variants, but like how much can you possibly test? I don't know.
And then like I don't know, I wonder like all the makers that are like, I've been making so much money off of making masks, and they're like, what do I do now?
Yeah, I was reading something today that was like talking about how small businesses just majorly boomed during the pandemic. because everyone was kind of leaning towards those like small makers for everything, not just for masks, and how because we're now so dependent on the internet and small businesses can use the internet as a tool, that it's just like small businesses are doing so much better than they ever did in brick and mortar.
Yeah, but, like, is that going to change now?
I don't know. I'm really curious. I mean, it's so hard to know or guess or anything, like, because everything's so unpredictable.
They've been saying that malls have been dying for forever. Like, malls are dead. Malls are dead. Like, everything's online, or people prefer, like, little shops. Like, no one goes to the mall anymore. It's not a thing. And you would think the pandemic would be the thing to wipe it out, but
that makes
they're
sense.
Still there, and it's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of money backing malls, though, for sure. Like, very rich people with lots of money, like, supporting malls. Centers of capitalism.
Centers of COVID.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. Like, even when, like, I was watching something and it was like, yeah, like Starbucks and this place, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. But, like, imagine being, like, the first person, like, if you're already, like, an anti-masker, you're like, I don't have a problem with this. But imagine, like, because they say it's like, oh, if you're vaccinated, it's okay. But imagine, like, being a vaccinated person that's been wearing a mask this whole time, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna walk in there and order a coffee. I feel like I'd be so terrified, because I'd feel like I'm doing something, someone's gonna yell at me. Someone's gonna be like, where's your mask? And I'd be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I feel like I've been yelled at so many times about, like, put your mask on. I'm like, I'm just taking a sip of water.
Well, she also will just, like, forget, and then she'll do that thing where she covers her mouth and runs back to the car, and she's like, a mask! Or I have to literally open the door and yell, like, you forgot a mask!
And that's just because I've literally been inside the whole time. So I think for me, it's, like, a different experience. Like, I think Shove has been more, like, in the world, so you've had more of a, like, a masked experience, per se. And I've been, like, so in the house. Like, I've just been more in the house than I've ever been in my entire life. Probably including when I was a literal baby.
That's why I go in feral.
Yeah, and I am going a little bit feral. And so, for me, I'm just having this, like, super anxiety about everything opening up, and then, like, being able to go places, and, like, literally my therapist told me that I had to leave my house this week. She was like, work somewhere besides your house this week. And I was like, I just am, honestly, as someone who's, like, such a social butterfly, like, it's crazy how I've just been totally rewired to, like, be scared, like, the fear, and I think, you know, just trying to be safe, but then also, you know, just, like, a smorgasbord of things piled up together to make me, like, this weird, like, hermit. And so, like, for me, like, even when I did go out, it was, like, masks, like, even though I was like, ugh, I hate masks, it was, like, I'm safe. It felt safe.
I'm not going to miss the smell of hand sanitizer. But
I just invested in nice hand sanitizer to have in my car, because I was like, I don't think I can smell like shitty old tequila smell every time on my hand willingly every time I leave any location. So I finally, like, went to bathandbodyworks.com, and I was like, oh my god, they have a multiple scents of hand sanitizer available. So I bought too much. I bought, like, 3 things. But I put, like, one at my desk, and one in the car, and one in the garage. And I just feel like, wow, I'm so bougie. Which, like, imagine 2 years ago.
Bougie or has a shopping addiction, as we talked about last episode. By the way, last episode, so sorry for you YouTube people. Rebel tried to help me by doing something.
I literally just tried to open it, and it just
I don't know what she did.
Exploded.
But she ruined iMovie, and it just went bye-bye. The episode supposedly is there, but it won't upload, so we can...
Yeah, we will make it happen. At some point, there will be an episode on YouTube. It's just going to randomly pop up, because...
So you have to be like the other people listening right now and go to Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you listen to
iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your podcast.
So enjoy it that way. You won't be able to see us. I'm sorry. I looked busted like always, so you weren't missing much.
Yeah, so we apologize about that. So, any other thoughts about masks?
Masks. It's so
Masks.
funny every time you say it. I'm like, Disco Girl?
Saying the word. I'm just pronouncing it because it's MASKS. Yeah, whatever.
Mask on.
Mask on. I do think that, like, I don't know. I feel like now that masks are, like, destigmatized, that, like, what I was saying earlier, like, when people are sick, like, I hope that people feel okay to just, like, wear a mask.
Or to, like, call out sick and not just show up.
Yeah, like, do you think that the world's gonna be any different, or do you think it's gonna try and go all back to the same shit?
As Americans are trash, it's gonna go back to the same shit and not worse. And we're gonna be like, a year from now, we're gonna be like, COVID who? We don't even remember that. We're just gonna sweep that under the rug. We learned nothing from this.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've got to have learned something, right?
We learned who was selfish and who wasn't selfish.
Like, do you think that there's going to be any healthcare reform, or do you think we're just going to be like, don't care?
I almost sprayed my water. Do you think there's going to be healthcare reform?
There should be healthcare reform. It shouldn't be a joke when we're talking about healthcare reform.
You would think that a pandemic would show the country that there should be healthcare reform. But, I think they'll try. I think they might try. Do I think anything will come from it? No. Like, hello, like, essential workers should definitely make more money and have, like, really good health care if we know every time there's a fucking pandemic, they're going to be forced to work.
Remember
but
that?
That's not going to happen.
Remember that joke that the world played on essential workers when they were like, you'll get paid more for, like, a month?
Yeah.
Such a joke. Anyways, well, I guess world will just go back to normal. Do you think that we'll all have, like, way more anxiety moving forward because of this? Or do you think that we'll all be okay? We'll get over it?
I think some people will for sure have more anxiety. Some of us will probably just be more fucked up because we survived a pandemic. And you know who really is going to be fucked up is the kids. Like, I don't know what weird shit they were doing. Or, like, teenagers. Because I would be driving, you were stuck at home, and I'd be like, those are teenagers just doing something they shouldn't be doing in the middle of the day. Because they're not going to school. And it's like, I'm just waiting for, like, then they come out with, like, shows about adolescence during a pandemic. Or, like, what books. Or, like, a kid that comes out. Like, there's going to be, like, some kind of weird, like, this is what the kids are really doing during that year and a half.
I think it's going to be more like the kids who didn't get to have social interaction for a year in their, like, important formative years are going to grow up and be, like, psychopaths. Maybe. I don't know.
They're all
no science.
Mama boys.
Yeah, there's no science behind that. That's just an assumption, guess, but...
I mean, they definitely, like, miss something important.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, also kids are homeschooled all the time, so... I don't know.
Honestly, I just cannot wait. I know we were, like, supposed to be talking about masks, but, like, I just cannot wait to just, like, hang out with people face to face in real life and just, like, fucking exist with other people and, like, just see new people all the time. Like, I can't wait to see new people all the time.
And I'm sure that shortly after being excited, like you are, I'll be like, oh yeah, I fucking hate people. I'm like, that was nice. I'm going back inside now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know, and maybe this is, like, another episode's topic, but, like, I feel like this whole pandemic has straight up, like, shifted my whole perspective on my own life and, like, what I want and what I prioritize. And I know that that's happened for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people have stayed home and then they're like, oh, wait, like, spending time with my family is actually pretty awesome. And why am I gone at work all day long every single day and then doing things on weekends? Like, I mean, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see the way, like, people's individual perspectives shift. Because even if we can't call like a full-on like societal or cultural shift, we can see individual people's like perspectives and experiences, and I think it'll be really interesting. Mine included. Who knows? I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Well, let's move along.
Okay.
Move along.
Before we move along, how do you think that the pandemic, how do you think it's affected you? Like, how do you think it's changed you? Do you think it's changed you?
I don't know. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was just looking at you. See, I was really curious about that. That was like a genuine question.
Like how the pandemic's changed me?
Well, yeah, like I don't like.
That's a whole other thing. I need to process that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm still in the pandemic. We're all in the pandemic.
We're all still in the pandemic Lovato.
Yeah. So like, ask me in 2022.
Okay, I'll ask you in 2022. Someone write that down and text me in 2022.
Hopefully, in the end of the season, in December, we will be able, because it will hopefully be the end of the pandemic, talk about how the pandemic changed us.
Oh my god, I just remembered that Christmas is coming in December.
Oh god. Can we move on, please?
Okay, on that. Yes.
When I made you coffee, the last of the coffee.
I know, I'm almost done with the coffee, but I wanted something cold to pair with it.
Gosh, being in a queer relationship with a woman is the worst. They steal everything.
Well, so do everyone else that you could be in a relationship with.
Not
so
thirsty. Ooh, you're drinking something. I'm not hungry. Ooh, you're eating something. As someone that appreciates men as much as women, I will tell you, men don't do that.
Yeah, but men.
But I would do that to them.
Yeah, like, whatever.
I'm just saying.
All right, welcome everyone to the Wheel World. What are we talking about in the Wheel World today, baby?
What? I hate when you do that. Okay, so in the Wheel World, we talk about all things skate. And we're going to talk about the amazing skate weekend we had. We had our first skate and barbecue.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome.
It was, we had like 99% vaccinated people. So we were allowed to take our mask off, and I cooked a lot. And like,
it was delicious. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, I invited a couple of friends and most of my coworkers. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was so awesome. And I hadn't been around that many people in so long. Like, people that I was, like, that I knew. Like, I've been around that many people a couple of times for jobs, but I hadn't been around that many people that I knew and was friends with in a really long time. And it was really, 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 really great. I just, like, was not ready for the amount of love and happiness that I felt.
Aww.
I wasn't ready. I was so, so, so happy.
Is your mouth tired?
Why am I, like, drawling?
Because it was running all weekend.
Wow.
No, Rebel shines in social. She likes to be the life of the party.
I think Chev remembered why she loves me this weekend.
And sometimes it's just me and Bowie. So, like, she'll talk to Bowie a lot because I'm not around. But then I was like, wow, people that actually talk back and have a conversation. So I think people like Rebel need to thrive off of social interaction. And for me, I'm just like, okay, that was enough, or I'm going to go hide somewhere. And, like, Rebel just has, like, a light that shines out of her. And she's like, I am the entertainer now.
Yeah, it was so fun. And I got to do my favorite thing, which is, like, hang out and talk with, like, a couple people for, like, a little bit, and then go and talk with another couple people for a little bit, and then have, like, a table of people you're talking about something, and, wow, like, you're all talking about right something.
Now. Your eyes are, like,
so
lit
fun.
up.
I really love it. Yeah, and I totally missed it, and I forgot that it was like that, and I was, like, a little worried that when, you know, if that happened again, that I would be totally just incapable of being myself in that same way, because, I don't know, you go for so long, you think you forget it, but no, definitely not. It is who I am.
And then we put our skates on after eating, and like we went hard in the paint. Like we were skating for hours. I hadn't been on the mini ramp in like a month because I don't even think I told you this. Like having this like fear that I was gonna get hurt for some reason, and I was like, I'm not gonna drop in. I just kept having a bad feeling, and like I listened to those feelings, so I just stayed away. And then so I was like dropping in. I still can't like fucking stall, of course. But I was able to like get out, not just slam on the deck on the other side, which is cool. But then I was just like talking to someone about Legs' ramp, and she has a little ramp too, but it's like longer, and that's the only place I've been able to do a kick stall, like a toe stop kick stall, and then also a what is it called, rock to fakie?
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, and then like a rock to fakie, but like with toe stop down on the transition. And I was like, well, I should be able to do it again. So I was like forcing myself to do it because everyone was kind of distracted doing other things. And I was able to like get like a weak version of both. But I was still like, oh my god, I'm unlocking things. This is amazing. And then just getting to watch like everyone like try different tricks. And then like they taught me, like they got me to do the like, what is it called? Like hooker clack or clap.
I don't know what it's called, but it's when you're like going up the ramp and then you jump up and you like
click
your whole skates together. You hit your whole skates together and then you go back down.
Yeah. And so it was like scary because I'm like, do I have to jump high for this? But I was able to do it, so that was super awesome. And it just felt like really empowering to have everyone there skating and like supporting each other. And I often forget how awesome it is to skate with like a large group of people because it's not competitive and everyone teaches differently. So I even got to teach like our IT guy like how to pump a little bit and the beginning of doing like a toe stop stall.
It was so cute. It was so cute.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And then okay, so I hadn't dropped in since I got hurt. And I was really scared of dropping in. Like, I had gone on the ramp twice, and I've been going to the gym twice. And I also, like, have been skating a little bit, like, just on flat ground, but I hadn't yet, like, really fully ramp skated yet. And I was really scared of it. And I decided that Saturday was the day that I was going to drop in. And I was just like, fuck, like, how am I gonna do this? And so I like called Kiana over and I was like, Kiana, I need you to tell me that I can drop in right now. And they were like, you can drop it, you can do whatever you want to do, like, you're gonna be fine. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And it was like so wild that you get so scared after being fine. Like, I was fine dropping in and like didn't have a problem, and then I was so scared. So then I did drop in successfully, and once I did that, because it wasn't necessarily, it was that I had this weird fear that like I would drop in and then my leg would just like stop working and then I would just like slip out and fall. And so I did that, and I dropped in, and then I was able to learn new tricks, and it was cool because it was the first time, and I just feel like such a broken record being like, since I broke my leg, since I got hurt, but like it was the first time that I was learning new things and not just relearning the same shit I already knew, which is like a weird thing that happens when you get hurt that I didn't realize, that like the first like significant amount of time is you just like relearning your same tricks, and you're like, God, could I just learn something new? Like something that I didn't know how to do before. And I felt like that was finally happening, and so that was really cool. And then I went on the mini ramp for the first time. I hadn't been on the mini ramp, so the mini.
Yeah.
The trippy mini. The trippy mini. I haven't been on that mini ramp yet. And so I went on that for the first time, and that like weirdly scared me. And I still like literally do not know what I'm doing on that ramp, but I went on it, and I'm proud that I went on it, and I'll figure it out eventually. And then on Sunday. We had, it was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. Some skaters hit us up. Not just any skaters, but a bunch of like huge Asian skaters in the roller skate community that through an AAPI event,
kind of to like talk. Well, they raised money, but I can't.
They were raising money to stop AAPI hate.
Yes.
And so, like, to raise more awareness and then to, like, build the community around the cause and to raise money for it.
Yeah, and it was, like a lot of people there. It was the same day as our barbecue. And so they came over and they wanted to do some B-roll for some stuff they were filming and just to hang out. And at first we thought, like, oh, they just want to use the ramps. That's cool. We'll leave them alone. And then they were like, wait, no, just skate with us. And it was, like,
I was shocked. I didn't think that they wanted to skate with us.
Yeah, it felt like Instagram, but it was, like, crazy. Because, like, you know, you see Instagram, and it's, like, I'm sure people think this about us, too. Where you're, like, oh, like, you're just such a huge personality. It's going to be awkward. You're going to keep to yourself. Like, and they were just, like...
Or, like, you're so good. Like, there's no way you want to skate with us.
Yeah, and it was, like, oh, you're just, like, us. Like, you're
so
just real
normal
people.
and, like, so chill.
Super awesome. And it was funny because everyone was super short, and I felt like a giant. And everyone was so pretty. It was, like, insane.
Everyone was so pretty.
Everyone was, like, so pretty, and I was like, I'm just having, like, a crappy day from, like, skating all day yesterday and cooking and cleaning. But, like, okay, it was, like, Zelina on wheels and Roller Bunny.
Yeah. And Cammy.
Cammy Slammy.
Ruby and Rubina.
Yeah, like, so many people. And you're like, it's so crazy because it's like you have Houston and then you have the Bay Area representing. Like, it was just, like, so crazy to see everyone all together. Joanna was there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I felt so lucky that they hit us up and wanted to skate with us. Like, it just made me feel like, wow, this is so great. Like, I had such a warm feeling about the skate community following that because it's so easy to focus on the negative parts of what's going on in the skate community when you're online and not remember how many awesome, amazing people and, like, great feels there are, you know, like, inside the skate community.
Yeah. And that day I got to actually, like, get a real good kick. And I was like, gotta keep working on what I'm doing. And Rebel slid.
I slid. Oh my god, I fucking slid. I literally have been trying to do that for so long and I am so scared of it. And like, Cammy was like, okay. She was like, yo, you're gonna slide by the time we leave. And I was like, bitch, what? No. And she was like, yes, even if I have to yell at you, you're gonna get it. And I was like, all right, I think you know my love language. All right, we're doing this. And so, like, she just had me, like, carve and then stall, and then I slid without even meaning to. And it was so terrifying and such a rush. And so now I'm gonna practice sliding because I low-key think that it's my new favorite thing.
Oh my gosh.
It's so scary,
was
but
the other
like...
thing that Z taught you? Mashing berries?
Oh, mashing the berries! Yeah, it was so fun. I dropped in, and then, like, it was so cute because they were doing it together, and I was like, man, I wish I lived in the Bay Area right now. Y'all are so cool. I would totally skate with you every single freaking day. The Concrete Sluts, I want to be an honorary member. I don't know if any of you listen to the Skate Date podcast, but, like, please make me an honorary member of the Concrete Sluts, please. But yeah, no, so they dropped in, and then, like, on the coping, they just, like, stomped, like, on the coping. And so, like, they were doing it, and then I was like, I think I could do it. And so when nobody was watching, I just, like, dropped in and, like, tried it, and I did it! And I was so excited. And it was, like, so going back to, like, when I slid, like, they were, like, really encouraging, and then I, like, successfully did it, and then everyone cheered so loud. It made me want to cry. Like, it was so supportive and so cute. Yeah, it was so good. I'm, like, obsessed with that day. That day was so nice.
It made me less afraid of when the world opens and realizing that the skate community is still there and it is still the same because you get so wrapped up with, like, a lot of the drama and, like, these horrible things happening and, like, people taking advantage of the skate community within the skate community online that you're like, oh man, are things going to be different when we come out of this? Like, so affected from, like, being stuck online and everyone being cliquey and all this stuff. And, like, this weekend, like, of course the barbecue was like, oh, these are all people I know and work with or skate with before and during and will after. But yesterday was, well, Sunday, now listening to this, Sunday was filled with, like, oh, these are people I don't know. Only one of them I've met before. And I don't know what their personalities are going to be like, because everyone's different for the most part, different in real life. You know, like the internet's fake for the most part. You only see what people want you to see. So sometimes people are huge personalities online and they're super chill in person, or opposite. They're super zen online and then they're like super a lot in person. So you don't know. And like everyone was so great. And I was really nervous. Like, to be honest, I was like, oh, I don't know. I think I'm just going to say hi and like go in the house. Like, I'm just like, don't have the energy.
The plan was for me to be the host.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I have the energy to be around new people. And like, I was like, oh, I don't know, they're just gonna be here for an hour and that's cool. And then we'll go about our day and I'll skate after they leave. And like, they ended up staying like way longer than an hour. And I didn't even realize, like, it just flew by.
It was so great.
And I had so much fun and it was like positive vibes. And I like loved all the energy. Like, everyone was so different and so sweet in their own way, and like their skate styles were all different, and it was, I don't know, Bowie had the time of his life because
he was so doted on.
Yeah.
He's still like, Mom, you don't scratch me with acrylic nails, so I don't want you.
Yeah, he was like, I have all the girlfriends now.
Yeah, for real.
And then on Saturday, he had all the boyfriends.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, like, what it comes down to is there's just so much visibility of drama. Like, negativity gets more visibility than positivity does. And the positivity that gets visibility a lot of times feels performative, because you're not really able to communicate that realness of the community, like, online, even if you try. Like, I swear to you that my whole heart and soul is, like, trying to get my platform to be community-based, and, like, it still is not, like, I'm not able to do it in the way that you can do it when you're in person, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that it was just a really beautiful reminder for me, and it felt really great, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is what it's about, and it was awesome, and I just want everyone to come skate our ramp all the time now.
Not everyone.
Yeah, obviously not everyone, but, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the wheel world. So we're learning new things. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the bruise on my arm. So I was like, so something happens to me when I'm around new people. And actually, it's not even new people. It's just like any people. Whenever there are people around me, something happens to me.
You go ham.
Yeah, I turn into a ham, and it's really just, I just want to have fun. Like, I just want to be involved with other people. Like, I just want that sense of, like, connection and fun and everything. Anyways, so I was like, oh my God, you should try this new thing. I think that you'd be great at it. And it's like something that I don't know how to do, right? And so I'm thinking, like,
understatement of the year.
I'm thinking that I could, like, you know when you're a dancer and you, like, mock it, you're kind of like just faking it, but you're kind of doing it. You're going through the movements, but you're not really doing the trick or anything.
Because you couldn't really remember what the trick actually was.
I couldn't remember exactly what the trick was, so I just thought that I would, like, pseudo demonstrate what the trick was. And, like,
one moment in my head, I'm listening to her and I'm like, I know what she's talking about, because I know what skater has done this a lot. And so I'm thinking about it, and I have this image of what she's doing, and I know she doesn't know how to do it. And I also see someone standing across on the other side of the deck, that definitely you can't have anyone standing on that short deck to even attempt this trick. So in my head, I'm thinking, she's going to knock this skater over. But also, she 100% can't even try to do this trick. So what is she going to do right now? And I'm just watching. And this is happening, like, pretty fast. So I don't have time to be like, you don't know what you're doing. I thought she was just going to jump to the other side. Because I was like, there's no way she's going to attempt it. She's just going to go up there and show them with her hand, like, slide right here.
Yeah.
And continue, babe.
Yeah. So then I was just like, this is fine. And I don't even know what was in my head. Probably the same thing that was in my head, like, a year ago when I was just like, I'm just going to drop in off the side of this ramp in my tennis shoes. And just like, I just didn't think. And I was like, I'm just going to go. And I think that that's what was in my head this time too. So I just like dropped in with absolutely no plan on the other side except to like get onto the deck in like a crouching position. But instead of doing that, I like half stalled and then I just fell. Like I fell from the coping. I just fell straight down.
It was traumatic as fuck.
It was super traumatic. I wish that there was a video so
her
that we
leg
could show
like
you.
flopped, and so I got scared. I was like, oh shit. And I thought she was literally gonna lay there thinking like traumatized, like thinking that she broke herself again. But
really
didn't.
my arm just got hurt. Like my arm, so what happened was my arm hit, I don't even think I told you this, my arm hit the side of the ramp.
Oh shoot, that explains why it's so messed up.
And so like my arm hit the side of the ramp, which is why there's this line here and it's just like a big ass bruise.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so then I got up and I was like, I'm fine. And then we moved on.
The actual trick is when you're supposed to, so this is why it didn't make sense, because she did kind of stall, but you're supposed to actually like pop all the way on top of the deck, put your hand on the coping and slide, like put your body straight and slide across the deck if you have a long deck, and then go back in.
Like in a circle kind of a thing. So like
you pivot from your hands.
Like Z does this thing on this flat ground that's like her like celestial spin thing. So I thought, oh my God, this would be perfect for you. But I like couldn't explain it well. So then I thought I should demonstrate it, but like I didn't know how to demonstrate it anyway.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Anyway, so I embarrassed myself. So Zelina, if you're listening, sorry.
Let me show you how it's done. Chaos. Typical rebel shenanigans.
Literally, if that's not an indication of like who I am as a person, I don't know what is.
Back when Rebel was like first learning skate parks, and she's like, I'm gonna be a park skater.
LOL.
And she started going like, well, pretty much every week.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I went every day.
Yeah, and she was constantly like overshooting, stalling, and having dramatic falls back into bowls. She was like hurting herself badly and then lying to me about how bad she got hurt. But then like it'd be like a month and I'd go to the skate park and someone would be like, oh my God, remember when you passed out? And I'd be like, what do you mean? You told me you just like were in pain. And you're like, I
didn't think I passed out, to be fair. I didn't think I passed out that time.
And then, like, always just something dramatic. And I'd be like, can you slow your roll? Like, jeez.
Anyway, so that was me trying to learn how to skate park. And 2 years later, I'm not any better than I was then.
I mean, talent-wise, you're way better. But when it comes to, like, trying to be a goat, like, you're like...
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I have the show-off gene, and I can't get rid of it. But then I never actually, like, show off. Like, that's the funny thing. It's more of
the look what I can do gene.
It's the Stewart gene.
Yeah, because then when you do something, you're like, did you see that? Babe, did you see? Why weren't you watching? Okay, pay attention. I'm going to do it again. And I'm like, I'm talking to my new friend. I'm telling a story. And you're like, babe, look. But I just did it. I just slid. And we're like, we watched and she does it. And then she's like, all right, cool. And then she goes off. And she's like, I just need you to see me do it once. And I'll leave you alone. If you didn't see me do it, it never happened.
Very true. There's got to be a witness.
But yeah, it was a great weekend.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the wheel world. Let's go into Find Your Skate Date.
What? You were there.
Find Your Skate Date is the part of the podcast where we connect you with a skate date in your area. So whether it is a person who is platonic or a romantic skate date, we will connect you. All you have to do is you just send a little bio to us with your name, your Insta handle, your pronouns, and a little picture of you. And then we will talk about you on the podcast and we will post you on our Instagram. So, today's Find Your Skate Date is Ray. Ray says, Dearest skate date, my name is Ray, they, she, and I'm a queer, non-binary cutie looking for skate dates. I'm so sad to be moving away from my loving skate community in Salt Lake. Shout out to SLC Skate Babes for being my rock through the shit show that was 2020. I'm heading to Mount Vernon, Washington to finish school and would love to make some local buds or maybe the love of my life. It's finally happening. It's finally happening. We're going to find Ray their love of their life. Okay. A bit about me. I'm 25, Sagittarius sun, and my cat is my baby. I'm an intersectional feminist, anti-racist, anti-capitalist, sex and body positive, goth, bimbo bitch.
Love it.
And I'll fight about it. I love that. I'm also a hula hooper and love playing with the crossover of roller hoop. I can definitely put you on to the hoop life. I need someone to put me onto the hoop life, to be honest. I'm a pole newbie too and have been dabbling in polar skating. Oh my God, Ray, you are so cool. Outside of those hobbies, I'm a pretty good cook and will make you all of the vegetarian food. I love thrifting and coffee dates and posting up in the park on sunny days. I learned to skate while playing junior derby as a teen and got back into it about 2 years ago. I'm probably an intermediate level. I love park and street skating most. I struggle with jam skating, but I love dancing, so I try my best, and I roll around on the ground doing floor work and shaking ass to make up for it.
Nice.
I'd love to make a park bestie or skate the city together. I'm honestly down for it all. As a birth worker, I have a crazy schedule, and skating is a huge part of my self-care. I hope that finding some skate friends locally will help me motivated to stay rolling when I'm caught up in the frenzy of work and school. It would also be the best thing ever to find a loving partner who would make me food and rub my feet after long birth when my body and brain are mush. Oh, and I love kiddos, so if you're a parent and want to bring them to the skate sesh, I'm down for hangs with the fam.
Oh, that's so cute.
Thanks for reading, Ray, at hoop.skate.repeat. And then they say, P.S. Oh, you're going to love this, babe. I still mourn 2 girls, 1 pup. I know it had to go, but honestly, it was validating to listen to other people talk about the nuances of their pet's life. It gave me the permission I needed to talk shamelessly in detail about my cat to people who probably don't care. For the record, I cared, and I feel like Bowie is part of my life now. And look at this picture of them.
Wow.
They're so cool. Oh my God, I
Daddy.
love them.
I miss 2 girls, 1 pup.
Okay, but still we don't have anything to talk about Bowie.
I don't care.
Okay. So if you are Ray's skate date, platonic or romantic, hit them up at hoop.skate.repeat. And Ray, if you find the love of your life,
Which you will, because you're awesome.
please tell us about it. I really, really want a letter.
Invite us to the wedding.
Invite us to the wedding and be like, one day I decided to write into Skate Date the podcast. Also, if you're ever in Southern California, I would love it if you would teach me how to be brought into the hoop world.
Hoop. There it is. Got her. Got her.
Well, that's not at all what I was expecting, and I'm very happy about it. If you want a Find Your Skate Date made about you, then just send us an email at dearskatedate@gmail.com. Moving on to Dear Shovel. Okay, so Dear Shovel is a time where you write in your questions and ask them to us, and we answer your questions with our great vast of eternal knowledge about everything. So we might give you really horrible advice. We might give you actually really good advice. We might get distracted and talk about something different, but please get stoked and send in your questions to Dear Shovel at dearskatedate@gmail.com. So what is our Dear Shovel today, babe?
Today our Dear Shovel has to do with exactly what we were talking about in the real world. So we're going to touch base a little deeper in that. Okay, here we go. Dear Shovel, I know that mask restrictions are being lifted, but honestly, my anxiety is going wild. I know you're probably not much ahead of me, but how do I get over my anxiety of people and re-entering the real world? Sincerely, trying not to be a scaredy cat.
I get that. I get that on a spiritual level. Like I totally get that. I don't know what the advice is though, because I feel like I'm kind of in the same spot. Maybe it's re-entering it kind of slowly, like going at your own pace, you know, like first maybe go with people that are in your COVID circle, but just like go out into the world with them. You know, maybe that'll be like a nice ease, and then you're seeing other people, but you don't have to interact with other people at first. And then like maybe the next time you like add a couple more people into your COVID now non-COVID circle. And so you just like slowly introduce yourself into it. Maybe that will help.
Yeah, it's this one I'm struggling with because I've been having this kind of weird thing where I don't want to think about it too much because it's crazy to compare how I am almost not anxious at all. And it's almost like I'm worried that I'm not anxious. I'm anxious about not being anxious about going back. Like, I think it's so weird to be like, I would wash my hands until my hands turned red and started peeling, and I wouldn't leave the house, even to the grocery store, except for like every 2 weeks, and then had like a mental breakdown if we weren't in there too long. Like if Rebel started wandering aisles to look for more stuff, I would yell because I'd be like, we need to get the fuck out of here. Like we've been in the world for too long. And going from that to like now being like, oh, okay, this is normal now, I guess. And then like getting the vaccine, and it was almost like getting vaccinated kind of like gave me this like concept of like, oh, I'm untouchable, even though I know I'm not. It was just like, okay, things are okay now, and it really soothed me a lot, and it made me less afraid of people or going out. Like now I feel like I can just like walk into a 7-Eleven and be fine and like touch things and look for things, and like I know it's like we're still in a pandemic and I need to know that, but I feel like this is how I'm coping with it. Like getting the vaccine is what like allowed me to like not freak out anymore. So I have that, and I know like it is gonna be weird and different, but I've been so just pumped on like being happy that it's like we're finally approaching the end, like the light at the end of the tunnel is here. But I do often think like that's so crazy that I can feel this excited and happy about it when last year I was like in despair.
I definitely think something that's making me feel better is the numbers, like the knowing that the numbers of new cases and like the likelihood of actually catching it in where I live, like in Long Beach or even in LA, is so low. Like that makes me feel better. Like not only am I vaccinated, but also like the numbers are also very low. So it's like the combination of those two things makes me feel better. So when I start getting anxious about everything, that's when I start thinking about things like that. Like for me, what I'm anxious about is being back in the classroom. Like that definitely makes me more anxious than anything else. Like for me, doing outside activities, like that doesn't scare me. Like going to the store, like I feel pretty okay with, but I'm like very nervous about going back to in the classroom teaching, because that's 34 people and me like in a room, a closed room that probably doesn't have good ventilation. And so that makes me nervous, but I'm just going to have to cross that bridge when I get there. Because I don't really know how to deal with that in my mind right now.
Yeah. Baby steps, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think something also like weird, and I know this probably doesn't have anything to do with like the question that you're asking, dear person who wrote this, but like for me, I'm like weirdly nervous about the things that were eliminated when I came home. So, for example, I am very nervous about school shootings right now. And the reason why I'm nervous about that is because it's like people have gone crazy over the last year. And it's like, what kind of polarized opinions are going to set people off these days? And, you know, like that was already something that was increasing in happening more often. And happening more often.
More frequently.
And so like the fact that everything, all of that stopped, like, it gave me, like, a sense of ease with that. But there's still that very real reality that something like that could happen. And so, like, that kind of stuff makes me nervous. Like, the realities of the real world that I've kind of been completely secluded from for the last year.
Like, the first time I finally went on a beach skate and everything during the pandemic, even before my vaccine, and I got harassed sexually many times and then even followed and then blocked in. And it was like, oh yeah, I can't just like skate around alone and wearing what I want to wear because there are creepy people in the world. And that is what's just going to happen more often because there's going to be more people out and about when I'm skating now. And of course, like, I know that's what can be scary. It's like, how do you make the world a better place? A pandemic where less people can be outside at once. How do you stop school shootings? Don't let people be able to go to school. And it's like all these negative things are definitely going to come back that like our society, because now they're going to be like, we're out and about again. We have victims again. I'm sorry, we're probably just giving you more anxiety.
Yeah, we're not helping. I'm sorry.
The world is a scary place. And we were able to hide from it for a really long time. As much as it sucked, it was still slightly comforting in a way for a lot of us. Mm-hmm. And now we have to just come out of our caves and go into the literal real world and do the best we can.
Yep. And so, step by step. Ooh, baby. No. This is how you get rid of anxiety. By step.
Okay, babe.
All right. So hopefully that answered your question. If it didn't answer your question, very sorry. Please write in and yell at us. And if you have a question, please send it to dearskatedate@gmail.com. And don't hesitate to ask about anything because we will try and answer literally anything. What's next, babe?
We're going to talk about reviews. We got a 5-star review.
Oh my God, we got someone who gave us 5 stars.
On Apple Podcasts.
Wow, thank you so much. We love it when you give us 5 stars. If you give us 5 stars and you write up a little comment on Apple Podcasts, then we will adore you and we will shout you out and we will be so grateful. So who is it today, babe?
Oh, this is funny. Okay, sorry, I started reading ahead. Okay, so this one's from Cassie Rue.
Cassie Rue!
Entitled Fun Podcast, I Love Shovel. Alright. Courtney Shove and Rebel Rouser, Shove and Rebel, make shovel.
Yeah.
They're 2 skaters who fell in love and they're sharing it with all of us on their podcast.
Oh, that's cute.
They talk about current events in the real world and in the will world. They have a segment called 2 Girls, 1 Pup, Bowie, where they bring in their pup, Bowie, to talk about what's going on in his world too. See, Bowie, the people love you.
The people miss you.
Then they have Dear Shovel, where skaters write in for advice. Recently, they've added a bit where they'll help you find your skate date. They are so much fun. They are sexy. Ooh,
oh,
I'm beautiful.
Thanks, Cassie Rue. You're sexy too.
I think you can't see them on a podcast, but you don't need to see them to know they are sexy and beautiful. They exude beauty. I've learned so much from them and can't wait to listen to all the episodes I haven't caught up on yet, plus the new ones to come. Someday I hope to meet up with them for a rollout. Thanks for helping out all us newbies, Shovel. I can dig it.
Oh my God, that was so cute. That was like a cute little summary.
It was. Thank you so much, Cassie Rue.
I really loved that. Cassie Rue, youarethebomb.com. Mm-hmm. You are also sexy and beautiful, and I don't have to see you to know that. And yeah, thank you so much. If you want to give us 5 stars, we would very much appreciate it. We will read your comment on the air. So if you want to make some jokes and tell us some stuff, go ahead and do it. And if you want to support us, you could go to the link in our bio, and I guess it's called a bio. Is it called a description bar? I don't even know anymore. Whatever the thing underneath the podcast is.
Show notes.
There's a show notes.
There you go.
That's what it is. You can click the link to our PayPal and donate some dollars to us. Or you could go on our Etsy and buy a patch or a sticker.
I would also love for you all to pull out your calendars right now, your planners, your phone, and save the date for June 10th. It's a Saturday.
Is that when we're getting married?
No, something even better is happening that day.
What?
Finally. Long awaited.
The long awaited.
With twice as many skaters in the world, so we'll see what happens. The Sun's Out, Buns Out rollout.
Sun's Out, Buns Out!
Part 2.
Part 2.
Will be happening. I'm going to try to get as many skaters together in bikinis and booty shorts.
It's a body posy rollout.
Skate for 6 miles. We're going to take over Long Beach. I know it sounds scary, but we do take breaks. And we'll talk about it more the closer it gets. But just save the date.
Save the date. And come on another date with us next Wednesday. We love you so much.
Love you.
Bye.